And I think Mercy already has assigned people to ask questions. And also there will be dancing where you're going to be performing and she'll be watching. And she's a good dancer as well. So you can get her to dance. Okay? And then music, socializing.
Okay, so there will be two groups, same thing. Celine Dion and Fireball. That's the group, guys. Any other dance that you would like to do? Okay, those two dances is fine, okay?
Okay, and I would like to introduce to you the Filipino Canadian Conservative Council, headed by Conrad, and also of course, Conservative Kalani. There's Nani. Okay, so that's Jose Panduyong, Nancy Tulutugan, and Conrad. There will be the officers of FCCC, Philippine Canadian Conservative Council, founded by my late husband prior to his passing. And also, I think
Nako, Lani, oh, congrats ah. Congrats.
there's another group who claims
And
that
happy
it is
birthday.
no longer in existence. Please ignore. It is so sad that this person who organized this other group was part of our group for 15 years. So it is really very heartbreaking for me and for the organization. So we will continue to do this and good enough, my inaanak. So the breakdown now from liberal to conservative.
May naanak daw. Bumaligtad. Mas bata yung ano eh. Ninang.
Dala pa po tayong carefully yan ng asawa. For her, this one is
Ah,
her knowing us and us knowing her. Okay? So social love, very light. And she dances very well. She's from Venezuela.
from what?
Alam mo, naglakad pa sila. My gosh, umuulan. Walang parking eh. Kung kaso malayo. Sinabi ko kay Malchon.
It's part of Canadian. Yeah, it's a part of Canadians life. Walking in the rain. Masama yung ano. Okay lang yun.
Okay, sayang marilakad. Baka ano na. Okay, mamaya. Oh. Ito po. May happy birthday celebration here every month. Oh, there's more people. Dami na. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. So they have some. Yeah! Ito po, picture natin.
Manang, okay ka? Hindi ka na naliliw?
Ano? Pag magalaw ako.
Gusto mo ng tubig? Mag-inom ka ng tubig. Wala kang hindi. Dapat ay hindi mo.
Ako, inantay namin yung ano. We're waiting for the...
And for those who are performing for the first time, Fireball right after you dance. You sit down. I don't want to say okay? I don't want to say, oh, I know this dance. No. You see the dance that you want. Okay, who's gonna go to the first one? Fireball. Raise your hand.
Fireball. Andyan na?
Yung dati.
Yung dati.
Fireball. Ngayon lang siya.
Di ba fireball ka? Oh, fireball din yan. Ayan, tignan mo. Baka ma-miss ko pagdating niya. Pagwa-washroom mo muna ako. Diyos me, ikip ko lang ito para...
Ilagay mo dyan para nakaano lang.
Oh, sige, ikano mo lang ha. Uy, naka-live na ito kasi mawawala yung live ko. Pagka...
So, make up your mind. Who's going to do the fireball? I want at least half of the group. I don't want only 15 and the rest for the other one. And we started on the dance floor. And make sure if you read Celine Dion and you don't know, I'm gonna tap your shoulder. Thank you. Is that fair enough? If you choose Celine Dion and you don't know, I'll come to you. you doing? Okay?
Silindi yun. May mga silindi yun. At least may ano ni si Ronnie. Meron kababayan. Kababayan pa. Eh, lahat naman atang kababayan ni Ronnie. Ano pang sinabi ni Ronnie?
Okay, the family, let's welcome Anna!
Ayan! Hi! Wow! That's the I don't know. Yeah, she's young. Young and intelligent. Lawyer. I think so. I don't know.
Yung asawa ni Walter Pierre.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen,
Asawa niya yan. No.
everyone, magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. First and foremost, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to Mercy Flores, Mona Resulta, and the members of LIDEL, which is short for Let's Dance in Joy Life.
Singit na ako dyan.
A very dynamic organization hosting this meet and greet event and bringing, I think we have 60 wonderful people right here, right now. Am I correct?
Yes.
And so such short notice. We are so honored to have a very special guest with us this afternoon. Allow me to introduce our esteemed guest. Anaida Poliev, Ana for short, was born in Caracas, Venezuela. And at the age of 8 years old, in 1995, she immigrated to Canada with her family and settled in a working-class neighborhood in the east of Montreal. She later moved to Ottawa, where she studied communications at the University of Ottawa and worked as a parliamentary affairs advisor for the Senate of Canada and House of Commons. It is during her time in Ottawa she met her dearly beloved Mr. Pierre Poilievre.
The leader of the opposition.
And the two married in 2017. In addition to being a dedicated wife and mother to their two children, Valentina and Cruz, Ana is also the co-founder of Pretty and Smart Company, a lifestyle website for women. She plays an active role in the Conservative Party as her husband's #1 supporter. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, it's my great honor to introduce the next First Lady of Canada, Ana Poilievre.
Thank you, Rosemary. Thank you for hosting. Thank you for organizing this event. I really appreciate it. Thank you to Let's Dance, Live, Enjoy Life. Thank you for being here and helping organize and hosting this event as well. So yes, my name is Anaida. It's no, yeah.
You're just a secretary,
What's that?
1 minute. I don't know how to.
Where's
It just came on, right?
I can speak for that.
I think it's better with the mic. Come in the middle. Ay, may background yata to. Patpatay naman yung background there.
Are you here?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Tinawag ko na.
thank you everybody for being here today. As Rosemary said, my name is Anaida Poilievre, and I am the wife of Pierre Poilievre, the leader of the Conservative Party of Canada, and hopefully our next Prime Minister. It's just distracting.
They're coming.
Stay in the middle here.
Ay, tinawagan ko na. Sila. Di pa dumadating. Siguro busy sila. Ayan na.
The microphone now, so.
No, let me go and get somebody else.
I'm not a good singer, so I apologize, but I can speak without the microphone.
okay.
It's better.
So I wanted to thank all of you for allowing me to be here today. Thank you for the opportunity. As Rosemary said, I am Anna Polyev, the wife of Pierre Polyev, and hopefully, in my opinion, the next Prime Minister of Canada.
Walang nakaupo dito.
I am arguing with seniors that hard of hearing.
Thank you. As she said, I was born in Caracas, Venezuela, and my family immigrated here in 1995. When I arrived here, I was 8 years old. And I had to watch the transition of my parents. My father was a bank manager, going from wearing business suits to come here to Canada and wearing used clothes to go and pick up fruits and vegetables because that's the only job that he could do. We did not speak the language when we first arrived. We were in a working class neighborhood in Montreal. And with hard work and perseverance, we continue working for a better future, for Canada's promise. When I was 19, I moved to Ottawa to study at the University of Ottawa. And I got a job in the Senate. I applied for multiple jobs and I got a 1-month contract in the Senate. There I kept working hard with no connections, no nothing. And then the jobs kept on being renewed, the contracts, I kept on working hard. Years later, in 2012, is where I met my husband, Pierre Polyev.
Yeah.
His story is not that different from mine. My husband is born in Calgary, so he's born in Canada. However, he was adopted from a young age. He was adopted by 2 school teachers originally from Saskatchewan. So they lived paycheck to paycheck, a little bit like my family. We had to work hard for everything, and we understood that it's only work and perseverance that will get you to places. Also, we were taught that it doesn't matter where you come from, it only matters where you're going. And so those are the values in which my husband and I live by: faith, family, and hard work. And those are the values that we want to bring back to Canada as we feel that we have lost our ways. My parents, they made a lot of sacrifices. Today, my parent lives in Etobicoke, and he lives not far from here, and he's working at a grocery store from 11 p.m. until 7 in the morning. His job is to stock shelves and make sure that you can find your food. But you know what? When he watches me on television and he sees me introducing my father, he knows that his sacrifices did not go in vain. And my story is not a unique story. It's the story of many immigrants, many of you who have to leave everything behind to come here, to take whatever opportunity comes your way, because what matters is to provide for your family. But we want to make sure that that hard work pays off. Nowadays, what we understand is that more and more people cannot afford food. They cannot afford homes. Your paychecks, you can't make it. And so we're hoping that with all of your work, with all of your support, we can make my husband the next Prime Minister and bring back the common sense values and the Canada's promise that we all came here for. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for giving me the time to meet with you. And it is my hope to continue supporting my husband and to officially become one day the spouse of the next Prime Minister of Canada. Thank you.
That was wonderful. So we got to know who she is and also the family. And it's not an ordinary family, I should say, because they really strive very hard to make this happen. Very, very inspiring. And so, without further ado, we will go to the next program. I have to follow the protocol and schedule from Ottawa. Okay, so we are very excited to have the opportunity to engage with you and to get to know better. To ensure that our conversation remains productive and enjoyable for everyone, we kindly ask you to refrain from discussing political or controversial issues. Let us keep the discussion light, respectful, focused on general topics so that everyone can participate and benefit from the conversation. We appreciate your understanding and cooperation. So, I'll start the ball rolling. I think this is the segment now that we can ask questions and we can respond.
Yes.
So my first question, I'll start the first question. As you know, my late husband, Senator Enverga, was the sponsor for the Latin American Heritage Month, being celebrated in the month of October every
Yes.
year. So I got to attend some of the events in Ottawa during the month of October for the Latin American. I hope that will continue.
Yes.
But for some reason, the last couple of years, they stopped inviting me.
Oh, we gotta change that.
I think they saw me the conservative model now. Anyway, no, that's a joke. So hopefully that will resume
Yes.
when
Yes.
it ends next year. Okay, now my question is, I'd love to hear what's like living in Ottawa with two young children. As you may know, my late husband, Senator Enverga, we often visited Ottawa. I'm curious to know how you balance all of your responsibilities while raising a family.
Thank you. So the question is how I raise the responsibilities while raising a family. And the answer to that is with family. So I am Latina, I come with a big family, and like my husband says, once you marry a Latina, you marry the entire family. And that has proven to bring good dividends. Because the reason why I'm here on the road is because I have my uncle and my aunt, Pablo and Maria, who are at home with our children. And that is very helpful. It's very important for me to make sure that my children are loved and that when I'm away, they are still with family, that our values and principles are still being transferred to our children the way that we want to raise them. So we live in Ottawa and I wear multiple hats, but there's nothing that a woman can't do. So here we are.
Okay, I think we are open to four to five questions. Who's the next one to ask? You raise your hand first. Mirna, Calisterio, come over here, Mirna. Introduce yourself. What organization aside from Lidl you coming from? You belong to.
My name is Mirna Calisterio. I'm a member of the Isabel family, Sosa family, MMC family, and
MFC is Markham Federation.
Markham Federation.
Okay. Lovely meeting you.
Sosa is Scarborough, Ontario. All right, my question is, if Mr. Pierre becomes.
Loud, so they cannot
I'll
hear.
repeat
Oh.
it.
Can you hear?
Yes.
Okay. If Mr. Pierre becomes the next prime minister, what advocacy will you be initiating and why?
So the question is, if my husband becomes the prime minister, what advocacy will I take on and why? So I already started using the little platform and the opportunity that presented in front of me to advocate for human trafficking. So my past work was a parliamentary affairs advisor to the leader of the Senate. And in that capacity, I was advising the leader on matters of legal and constitutional affairs committee, which are the amendments to the criminal code. And during the Harper era, there was a legislation called Bill C-36, which is a legislation that amends the criminal code to make it illegal to sell sex or to profit from sex, but it protects the person selling sex because we see that person as a person that's being exploited. Because what we understand is that in over 90% of the cases, women, mostly and young girls, are being coerced into the sex industry. They do not enter by choice. And so what we find is that in Canada, it's actually happening a lot. There is a misconception to think that this happens in countries like Venezuela or Thailand or Cambodia. It actually happens here in Canada. And over 90% of the victims are actually Canadian citizens. What is happening in our country is that we have young women that are being trafficked across the country. They could be taken from Montreal to Edmonton and coerced. They're made addicted to drugs so that the pimp can control them. And what can also happen is that a young man will approach a young woman with the pretense of falling in love with her. And little by little, he starts manipulating her and separating her from her family and slowly pushing her into that industry. And then next thing you know, she disappears and she's been sold into the sex industry. And so because I did work on that back in 2014, it's a file that I know and that is very dear to my heart because I met with these survivors. And it's very important that they have a voice because people do not appreciate how prevalent it is in Canada. The statistics do not do justice to this. According to Statistics Canada, between 2014 and 2021, there was about 2,700 cases. However, when I speak to organizations like the London Center for Abused Women, they tell me that that little organization alone has helped over 2,000 women themselves. Now imagine how many organizations across the country exist that have helped so many women exit the industry. That tells us, in Ottawa alone, there's 2 cases on a weekly basis that we know of that are reported to the police. And I know all of this because I'm in contact with organizations and the police force in Ottawa. So imagine how prevalent it is. So it is important to speak up so that we learn more about it because we are all at risk. This can happen to any woman. This could be your daughters, this could be your neighbor. So it's important to share their stories. And so if you have Instagram, I started this page called Their Stories Matter, where I meet with survivors, I interview them, and I allow them to share their story, how they got coerced into the sex industry, and how difficult it was to exit, and how important it is to continue sharing their stories. So I will continue working on that advocacy should I be the wife of an ex-prime minister, because I think it is important to protect our women and girls.
Okay, next question, please.
I don't have a question.
No, no.
Big one.
I am. Anna. My question is, what support do you
Loud. They
Ano
cannot
raw?
hear.
The question is what support do I give to my husband? I think I give all kinds of support, everything. I wear multiple hats. I give my husband the emotional, intellectual, physical support that he needs. So I take care of him in any way I can, but he also takes care of me because it is important to know this is a team situation. I can't do it without him. He can't do it without me. We need each other and we need our family. I support my husband because I believe in him. I believe in his principles. I believe in his values, and I believe that it is the right path for Canada. My husband has said the same thing from the age of 19 that he's saying today. So what I love about the principles that my husband has is that what you get is what you see. If my husband looks at you in the eyes and then he says, I promise I will deliver on X, Y, Z, he will do so because he genuinely believes in what he's doing. He comes from humble beginnings. This is a matter of principle for him and nothing else. We could be doing something else. He's a talented, intelligent man that could go into the private sector, have our privacy, a balanced life. But he genuinely believes that this is his calling and that we need him. So I'm going to continue supporting him, whether it's me going on the road with him, whether it's me going on the road by myself, and me making sure that everything at home is being taken care of, either by me being present with my children and taking care of them, or making sure that if I have to leave, that they are well taken care of by my family with our values. That is
Very good.
My name is Mona, and I am one of the administrator of the Let's Dance event in Real Life, and I have a question.
I'll repeat it.
Do you have a favorite charity or a cause that you would like to support?
Do I have a favorite charity or a favorite cause that I would like to support and why? And this is Mona. So, I do not wish to repeat myself. The cause, as you know, is the human trafficking one. That's the cause I will be advocating for. In terms of charity, I do have another project called Lead Her Forward. It is not a charity, but it's an initiative where we aim to inspire, connect, and elevate women in their professional growth. It's an initiative that I started with a good friend of mine, Vanessa Mulroney, who is the daughter-in-law of the former Prime Minister Brian Mulroney. And the aim of this initiative is to gather women together and to connect women, whether it's young women or women in their 30s, 40s, 50s that wish to reshift their professional life and connect them with women that have already created their path in their journey and succeeded. One thing that I want to be grateful for is the opportunities that this life has given me. I was raised by my mother in a working class neighborhood. As you know, my father struggled working minimum wage jobs for a long time. My mother, because of health conditions, she relied on welfare. And so for me to think that I'm standing here in front of you, potentially being the wife of the next Prime Minister of Canada, is something that I'm very grateful for because I understand that it also comes with certain privileges. And I want to share those privileges. So I want to share the relations and the contacts that I am creating along the way to bring other women up with me and elevate them. So we already hosted our first event in Ottawa last October, where we had a room of about 30 women, 15 women approximately that were successful CEOs that had created their own path, and other young women that are looking to create their own path. And so we share their stories and then we connect them so that they can create relations that can propel them into their next move for their career. So that's called Lead Her Forward, and I will be continue working on that one. And so that's not a charity, but it's an initiative. Yes.
First of all, I'd like to say I'm a hardcore supporter of the Conservative.
Thank you.
Yay!
I registered as a volunteer.
Thank
My
you.
lady, so,
Thank you so
come here.
much.
Okay, I have two questions. One is little and one is big.
Okay.
Okay, you can respond to a little one by saying just yes or no.
Okay.
Okay, are you going to introduce or are you going to put back the prayer in the classroom here in Canada?
That is provincial, so we do not have
Jurisdiction.
any jurisdiction. We do not have jurisdiction over that.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, the next question is a little bit bigger. Canada has opened to international students
Yes.
for a little while.
Yes.
Now, there's a lot of backlogs. Yes, I know, because my niece is one of them. Now, the processing, there's a lot of students who's been stranded.
Yes.
And they don't know what to do. If you win, what are you doing?
Stranded where?
Stranded here
In
with their
Canada.
applications. Some of them has been returned, sent home, some of them are having a hard time going through the process.
Immigration
because they
law.
get to stay, because their process keep on changing. So what are you going to do about it?
So the question is, what would a conservative government do about international students that are currently here going through the process as students and that wish to remain? So that is a question that would be directed more towards my husband and his
Yeah.
future plans for what he believes in doing with the immigration file. What I can say is that my husband is very welcoming of immigrants, as the proof is that he married me, of course. So there's the positive impact that we see that immigration has in our country. I also understand that we have to revisit our strategy with immigration, as we saw what's happening in the recent years. We need to make sure that
We need
we
immigration.
take
That's
immigrants
great.
and that we give them the opportunities that they're coming here for. And to do that, we
Because
have
it's
to
an
make sure
aging
that it
population.
matches the needs of the country as well. So what I understand is that my husband is looking at all of that, and he will come up with a policy and a platform. Once the election is going to be announced, he will have a platform where he's going to be able to release further information on that. But like I said, we are a party welcoming of immigrants. They share our values of faith and family, as you know. but we also have to make sure that we accommodate with the needs of the country because it is not fair for immigrants as well that come here and can't
There's
find
a housing
opportunities, they
crisis.
can't find homes, they can't afford food, they have to go
Yeah.
to the food bank.
Inflation.
So I think it takes a lot of planning, and that's what he's working on, and he's an intelligent man that will have a good plan.
Okay, follow-up question. Sorry. You have mentioned about several times about state, right?
Yes.
Of course, you're going to have some influence, even though it's provincial. You know, the federal has the influence to introduce the faith-based all over the school.
No, we do not, so
It's
that's
provincial, yeah.
We do not,
It is provincial.
we do not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so probably the questions that you asked about international students, that's an open invitation to the next Prime Minister, Pierre
Yeah.
Poilievre, to be meeting the Filipino community, and we will make sure, probably, if that comes through, and then we can gather a lot more Filipinos, and I would assure you that there will be at least 500 people present.
Perfect, we'll take
We
notes of
did that
that.
already in the past, so we're gonna do that for here.
We'll take notes of that.
Yes, Chelsea, okay?
We'll
So
take
that's an
notes.
open invitation. Now, I think that's the questions about the, because she's going somewhere. And the next in our agenda is, there's a special presentation for you, a dance number. And just to let you know, the age group of this is from what? The oldest one, 90?
No, Richard is 87 years old. Richard,
Our youngest.
stand up. The youngest one. And the next, oldest one, and younger than him, is Angie. Where are you, Angie? 83.
Akala ko 86.
86.
And,
86.
just to let you know, Anna is a good dancer.
Ah! She can join.
Anna is a good dancer because I danced with her already last June, Independence Day in Ottawa.
Okay, let's do the merengue, and Anna will be dancing with us.
Ah, there you go. Go to Ottawa, please.
Nagbibideo. Live, it's okay? Can we do the video?
And then we will have a photo op, a group photo op.
costume. Miss Anna. Next person. Vote. Yan, conservative siya. Oh, na-video mo siya?
Nandito na lang tatlo tayo.
Oh, there you go. So you can dance. There, come on, dance. Okay, okay, go, go.
Edgar muna. Muna. Okay, now this time I'm going to repeat the dance, and then we'll have a picture after. Okay, everybody sit down.
No, she cannot dance. Sorry. She cannot dance because of her shoes. And she said, lean down early. Lean down early. Okay, come on, group picture now.
Group picture.
No, I sit down. There's a lot. This way, right?
You want a chair sa Davila? Hold on, ma'am. Ma'am is standing up now. I will.
Yeah, this is the last. They have to leave in 5 minutes.
It's okay, ma'am. Akin na ako nakukuha.
Okay, now come on, Stella.
Okay, everybody who would like to have a picture with her, come on. If you want to see them.
Hey, stand behind. Stand behind. Okay, go.
Kasama siya. Halika dito. Dito, hawak natin.
All right, guys, you gotta on this side. You gotta go back. You gotta get. Yeah, so you guys, you can come on this side. Squeeze in. All right, guys, I can't see you, so you guys gotta go up and back. You can see the lens, and you'll be able to see it. So, everybody here, go on this side. Sorry, sir, I'm gonna steal that spot. That's okay.
Yeah, go down there.
Can everybody be seen? Richard. Peter.
Yeah, I need you for, yeah, come more in.
Come here.
I'll be on this side.
Kasi hindi kasya. Hindi tayo kasya lahat.
All right, everyone looking here. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Awesome.
One more.
You already got the picture, I promise.
Manong, yung kasi sango, ikaw na nandyan, sa harap ka dapat.
Thank you.
Pakuha mo nga ako isa. Ayan. Bibidyo ko. Wala akong camera eh. Nabibidyo ako. Sandali, exit mo.
Ano?
Wala pa akong picture sa kanya. Kanya ako makapunta bukas. Pupunta ka ba bukas? Oo. Anong oras ba?